everyone, welcome to a time of thought and a call to action on Enterprise TV. It's that moment the middlemen come your way, and to say that you're especially invited to join our train, I am Juror Cyril Abaku, and with me today, the juror from Rabbi Evans Ofeli will be seeing off a legend of Nigerian broadcasting, Citizen Jones Hussein, as the world rises to salute a general of Nigerian communication who is now 50 years behind the microphone. Juror Emeka Madonago will be taking a trip to the state of his birth, where politicians have declared war in the name of a governorship election. Juror Olajumoke Alawode James will be serving us a lesson in cartography with her case, trying to draw the line between rich and poor criminals. You may say only in Nigeria. I will be asking what kind of clouds could be gathering when three generals meet on a mountain. Stay with us. Middleman. Welcome back. My case, a coven of generals. They met in Mina and sat behind closed doors. Not a word of what they said after the meeting. What did they discuss? Why did they meet? What is amiss? Who knows what should say a word to those who know not? Are the clouds gathering? Is it about to rain? My verdict: these men don't gather for nothing, but all gatherings must be gatherings for good, is all I can say.
Is it a coven of wizards? A coven of generals? We fear them, oh. But again, Nigeria today needs the covens. I wonder what our witches are doing. They do not have powder to blow. Anyway, since the witches have refused to gather, the generals have gathered, and they came out and said what?
Judge Jumoke, for the record, when we talk of a coven, I think in the papacy, when they want to select a new pope, a coven of cardinals normally means. So when we talk of coven, we're not talking of witchcraft and wizards.
Nigeria is coven of witches and wizards.
Okay.
But the one under reference is not
a coven of wizards.
Is more of, let's say, elder statement, or we call it what do you call them? These people who have led the country in the past. There's a name they call them, generic name they call them. So, but the interesting thing about that gathering is that the three of them are a byproduct of what has been bequeathed to what they call Nigeria today. Nigeria has sunk or has gained strides is from their indulgences, the three of them. Now, they did not open that meeting for journalists or for whoever, but it is not unconnected to the backward leadership style of the current president of Nigeria, President Tinubu.
Tell us what they said when they came out.
They didn't divulge the information.
No, but they made a statement. Siri, tell us what they said.
So I think it's public knowledge. I think about a day later,
yes,
General Abubakar, who is the most
prominent of them, the most outspoken of the three of them.
Yes, man of speaking.
Yes.
Came out and had a meeting with an NGO where he said things in the country were out of control.
That is not what they didn't say anything after the meeting.
No, they did not.
I know about it. They didn't say anything. But that one is the NGO visited him and he made that statement.
So that's his own personal statement.
So can you draw that statement? Can you confidently that statement? It's about that meeting.
Yes.
Or we'll say that the witch cried at night. And on the daybreak the child died. Can we link it? But that's why I said it's not unconnected to the leadership of Tinubu. Because they too, they are feeling the heat. But not too long ago, they came out and told us that they passed a vote of confidence. Even though Obasanjo did not attend.
At the National Council of State.
Did not attend that one. But that is what we were told, that they are passing a vote of confidence. And after some weeks, or after some moons, they gathered again, and this time they didn't speak.
Just three of them.
This one wasn't Council of State.
But
members.
But that vote of confidence was actually debunked Yeah, somebody came out.
You know, I said it then that the press.
Like that.
No, what else had the press reported?
It was just by Onanuga. It was a figment of by Onanuga.
It's imagination.
Yeah, there was nothing like that.
But it was in the banner pages of newspapers.
And of course, when the Nigerian media.
If you can quote somebody.
The Nigerian media, have we become more of, dog whistles?
No, sir. But
they didn't debunk it.
No. But if you have a press release, it's just that we've something so low. If you have a press release signed by a presidential spokesman, you are as good as
it has authority.
Yes. Now, number two is the fact that for the first time, I also observed a former head of state. Instead of saying the president is doing well, let's support him, he came out to say Abu Salami.
Yes.
In that same, he said, protest peacefully if you must protest. And I was wondering,
past president hardly says that.
It's like cloud suicide.
Things have really gone bad.
Yes. So this is, for me, this looks like the clouds guardian. I hope that those who know how to read the weather will read and give a good meteorological level. Because
but the thing will rain. It will beat everybody.
It may not be witchcraft, but this is powercraft. It is true. It's powercraft. And you must be easy. Of all the crafts, it is the deadliest.
True.
If you misread this weather, you've misread everything. I can assure. If you misread this, if you can't read this handwriting on the wall, you've misread everything and nothing else will count. So it's a wake-up call that something must be righted urgently. Urgently. See, the president isn't going to America anymore for UNGA. Why is he not going?
Fantastic question.
So
not to forget that we answered our
these are concerns.
To attend to the domestic issues.
What are the domestic issues he's attending to? Flooding Maiduguri.
Maybe his health.
That are new.
What is the flood in Maiduguri? He went there to show off now.
He went to show his new jet.
To the Escalade. He went there with
He flew his Escalade to Maiduguri.
So what was that? That was a pathetic
lack of emotional intelligence.
Yeah, how can you go to where
people are suffering,
and then you are going to display
wealth
to them? Then the next day the wife came out with one ridiculous
cloth
attire. I said unity attire. I don't understand.
This unity attire, you know that it was different materials or true? Are they okay?
Is it the burial of are they preparing the burial of Nigeria? Because I mean, how many times do you see people coming together to buy to sell Ashwebi or something?
But even if you are having kindred uniform, it's supposed to be in uniform now.
But it's uniform.
Was it uniform? Is it the
color? Yeah, it's green colored Ankara. It's uniform.
But how many
was that not what they were putting on?
Yes. So they were
different color now.
No. It's all green. They're showcasing. So she made a statement saying that she got the idea from
Zimbabwe.
So they showed us the color of the Zimbabwean one. It was primarily blue and with a touch of green. The Nigerian one had light green. I think it was white background with light green. It looked more like green, but it was all the same color.
Is it one or is different?
So it's different colors. I say it's one. They are not going to share it to all the 36 states. You buy it, maybe at a discounted rate, and all of us are supposed to wear it on October 1st in unison.
After that, what happened to us?
We're not seeing the rights now. The rights they said they'll sell to us at 40,000.
No, after wearing that uniform, what will happen to us?
We will become united.
No, we've not seen the rights, and they're now showing us.
They say, and the uniform looks like your Ankara.
No, it's not this one.
It's funny.
So you are one of them.
It's funny.
It's a really sad one, But the question to ask is, these generals, when they were in power,
what did they do?
What did they do?
Please don't.
Obasanjo, look at the staggered elections we have in Nigeria today. It was due to Obasanjo's ego tripping. Abdul Salami, it was the administration that midwifed the contentious 1999 constitution, in which they placed so much emphasis, they put a lot of landmines around religion inside the constitution. And then it was that same constitution, Abdul Salami did not, they excluded the right to self-determination and referendum, which was in the 1963 constitution. They removed a number of things that actually had helped the country in the First Republic and the Second Republic. So now the areas that they should have actually used to empower
You
Nigerians.
didn't talk about Babangida.
No, I'm coming to Babangida. The areas they should have used to empower Nigerians after all the low-cost years of Sani Abacha, they refused. Was it Babangida?
Mm-hmm.
Babangida remained
He
the only
devalued our naira.
leader, the only Nigerian leader who carried out the highest number of projects across the nation. The only leader who built roads, built bridges, built dams, built airports.
Evil genius.
You know, Babangida, but when it came to where it mattered most, leadership,
Human capital.
Babangida failed.
Completely.
Where Babangida could have, you know, the same structural adjustment program that Buhari dodged, you know, and Shagari dodged, Babangida ran headlong into it, even though he was told that this thing is a booby trap. He ran into it.
He valued the naira repeatedly.
He valued the naira and all of that.
To sustain it.
What about Ali Guzo? Even though he wasn't the head of state, but he was at the commanding heights. All these people saw, was it Obasanjo? Obasanjo had the golden opportunity to have righted a lot of wrongs, to have changed a lot of things.
Are you therefore saying that this gathering, this coven, do not have the moral right?
No, it's not in my place.
No, we don't know what they gathered.
To pass moral judgment. They only gather. But what I'm saying is that they are gathering at this time. They should first of all apologize to Nigerians for the sorry past we have come.
Assuming for not considering, you know why they gathered.
I'm even saying this. They should gather again.
The thing is this. To whom it may concern, if you walk into a forest on the promise that the python had been decapitated, you will walk in a jubilant owner of the forest. But if you walked in there and you can hear and began to hear that the supposed or purported decapitated python is still breathing, I think before you look, you want to know the length or color of the python. What should be different?
And in corollary to that, they say that once you get into the forest and you see where they use a live goat
to set a trap
for another animal,
what animal could that
run away from that.
So we must be careful. Whatever you want to say about these three men, if their gathering can be consequential, we should be asking ourselves, where is that consequence headed? That's, for me, should be the rule.
Is blowing in the wind.
When we return, the juror from Rabbi Evans Ufeli will be singing a poem for a Nigerian legend. Stay with us.
Middleman.
Welcome to the middleman of jurors. My case, Citizen Jones, 50 years behind the mic. The spoken and the written word are a powerful, enduring, and ever-evoking medium that has the ability to captivate, inspire, and transform. From the earliest cave of painting to the boundless digital landscape of today, the written and the spoken word has been the cornerstone of human expression, the vehicle through which we share our stories, ideas, and experience with the world. It is a portal into the vast and wondrous realm of communication, a testament to the timeless power of the written and spoken word that captivates, enlightens, and transforms. Jones Hussein is the prologue master. I have been a part of that audience of his, and I have been more. I have known Citizen Jones for over 2 decades. He's got really delectable presentational skills with an excellent voice to go with it. In his trade, the finesse of elegant language and the appeal of a richly composed voice find timeless rhythms. He once told me that the broadcaster is born and not made. But in the same breath, he accentuated the need for training and discipline in the field of broadcasting. He held the airwaves during his time at Radio Nigeria with much steeze and has since gone on to become the household name. You would have told an incomplete story in Nigerian broadcasting the day you omit the name Citizen Jones from the annals. At Radio Continental, now Max FM Kubanji Direct in Lagos, Nigeria, Citizen Jones took broadcasting to another level entirely with his suspense-drafted prologues that set the evening for a wonderful experience. In those days, we waited for the show with bated breath. It was drive time with value. When he had read his prologue for the first 3 to 4 minutes, a listener was instantly drawn to the realm of deep cosmic reflection. It is this intellectual arousal that stimulates the listener throughout the show. He's the most celebrated broadcaster and writer of our time, from the sweeping historical sagas that throw us to bygone eras to the thought-provoking exploration of the human condition. Each prologue of his contains powerful testament that expresses truth. These openings are as tantalizing as ever and expansive, diverse, and powerful communicative literary landscape, inviting you into deep stories that unfold within. Jones is an icon, is the icon of our time. And here, we choose to celebrate it. My verdict: whether you are a seasoned reader in search for new knowledge or adventure, or a newcomer to the world of intellectual immersion, Citizen Jones' prologue is your best bet. I shall go to Rabbi again.
Very deep
Yes.
eulogy.
Cosmic,
Deep eulogy.
a cosmic banquet of words, as we like to say it.
And I think it is well captured in regards to honoring Citizen Jones. I met him some 11 years ago, and I think that veteran journalists, right, would look at those of us who read journalism without the practical training. What do I mean? We learned the theories. You have the BSc, not the BA, of journalism, and didn't go through speech training. For instance, I did announcing as a theory, because I gave is BSc. So when you come on TV and meet veteran journalists like Citizen Jones, who has practiced for so many years, who's honed his skills from practice, from training, they seem arrogant or unaccepting of less than.
Yeah.
Because you can be way better than what you're doing. And there's no excuse for you to be mediocre. There are journalists all around you. So why do you want to speak like this and mispronounce words and not get the names of the people you're pronouncing? And they just make us better. Those of us who read the theory of journalism. And I'm deeply grateful for people like him in the industry, their mentorship, their support, their leadership in terms of looking up to, there are several of them that we look up to in the broadcast journalism industry, as leaders, people we want to emulate, people we want to celebrate, for doing journalism right. God bless you, Citizen Jones. I'll say more 50 years in the industry, but the rest of your years in great health and wealth.
Yeah, same thing. I wish him all the best. I actually heard so much about him over the years, but before we met, you know, but I was just, you know, I don't remember how we met, but we met. And since then, it's been a very interesting connection because, you know, we are both passionate about historical issues. And when we argue, it gets so intense because, I mean, we really dig it out. But at the end of the day, when we meet again, we'll still somehow find a way to review what happened, you know, in those encounters. And then we somehow get to meet at a certain point, you know, converge. So what I love about that is the fact that, you know, you see journalism as it was, you know, it has been over the years, has been that of enlightenment, education. Just like journalism is supposed to be entertaining, enlightening, and educating. And then there's also the advocacy part of it. But my worry is that the tribe of Citizen Jones is diminishing.
Yeah.
It's almost disappearing. What you hear on TV and radio these days, you know, people are speaking, but you can't even really hear what they're saying. You know,
They're
and
just
then those foreign accents and all that.
Personality.
You know, when someone like Ikenna Ndakuba, you know, passed on, you had some other people like Yinka Craig, you had his colleague, you know, all of them, when they all started, you know, fading away, it was like, what's going on? The beautiful voices, Onyeka Onwenu, you know, and the rest of them. CNN Orwell Brown, Ronka Ayuba, and even the Emeka Madoegbu, John Momo, and the rest of them. But interestingly, you still have someone like Citizen Jones who has actually transited from radio to TV, you know, and even though he still bestrides both worlds, but he retains that signature command of language, pronunciations, of words, of the use of words, and that evocative power, you know, to draw the listener into the conversation. I wish him all the best. Congratulations to him. 50 years, you know, doing the same thing, you know, in today's Nigeria must sound like a crazy thing, you know, because there are some of us who have, within the few decades that we've, you know, practice and provide, we've moved from one thing or the other, from one thing to the other. That, you know, just to keep body and soul together. But Citizen will tell you
has kept faith
he hasn't done
with the ink in his pen.
anything more than speaking into the microphone.
Yes.
So I commend him. There are not many like him. Anyway, today, there are not many like him.
I think that for me, you know, it's the profundity of his intellect and the fact that this man is an institution. That, I mean, he's been through some of the critical moments of Nigeria's political transitions. That if you sat with him, you can tell almost easily that this is a man through whose lens you could deconstruct Nigeria. And a lot of times, the pain is personal for him. If you listen to him talk about the first military coup, talk about the day Murtala Mohammed was killed, talk about, there are some landmark events that he recounts with a lot of, shall I say, pain, that even him, sometimes you feel this man needs to heal from some of these incidents, but it's Nigeria. He's a book. This man can, I mean, you will see, if you wanted to go on the air with him, every joke he cracks is filled with weight and wisdom. On the air, he has a lot of proverbs to share. Barrister Ophel was talking about, if you went to the bush and saw them set a trap with a goat, that's Citizen Jones. And he's never in want of them. He has them in abundance. He will mesmerize you. Sometimes he could tell you how a certain company, a certain institution started in Nigeria, and then the backstories which you never get to know. For example, there was a story, I mean, the day Murtala was killed, how a woman found his body. A colleague of his and said, this soldier now, why they kill him like this? He just they bleed for a year. Why they know? She didn't know that it was a head of that had been killed on the road like that. So those, I mean, and if you're not to make this into movies, those are the little details that you need For it beats me to imagine that a singer of Jones's caliber may have become an unsung hero himself. Because in 50 years, some of the people that he himself mentored have become masters who are even passing out. Yes, this man was interviewed some days ago, Frank Edo, and they told him, who are the people that have inspired you? He in the list he said John Susan. Arise Music.
That's Frank Edo, who wants to be a millionaire. For the sake of the listener.
Yes, good. This man on Arise, who was formerly at CNN, Charles Aniagolu. And the father were driving, and the young man told his father, I want
on CNN.
CNN, yes, said, I want to be a broadcaster. The man tuned the radio and said, you see this man you're listening to, John Susan, that's all you need. That's like a model. Listen to him so that you can become what you want to be. I personally met a woman in Ikorodu when I lived there. She said she failed WAEC in 1982. But that her father said, now that you failed WAEC, I don't know what I'm going to buy a radio. Listen to this man, John Susan, listen to his English and improve yours and write WAEC again. That woman owns a school today.
Wow.
The stories are they are as many as they come. So that that a man like hasn't even been given national honors.
They don't know. Are they aware?
It's a joke. He was a witness to the pioneer generation of Nigerian broadcasters. The likes of Christopher Kolade were among his first bosses. Kolade, George Bako, people like Eken Nagbami even came a little later. The likes of Ishola Folaronso, Martin Oko, who was at BBC before Kolade brought him to Radio Nigeria. A lot of them like that. Ernest Okonkwo. Okay.
Intercontinental
Those are the people that Jones either directly lent under or worked with Ron Mbatogo, Isaac Ejoma and Co. I mean, he says these names all the time. I think that beyond Enterprise TV and the Series Jones Committee doing a number of things, for example, honoring him on Saturday, September 21, with a Lifetime Achievement Award, and saying that 50 years behind microphone should not go.
Book launch.
Yes, and the book launch of the prologues. Beyond those, okay, and then we are also putting a prize together to say this is in Jones Award for Presenter of the Year as national award. Okay, what must happen that this man must be owned and must become proper national property. He's a treasure.
We are very happy that he's one of our own.
Yes, because
it's a privilege.
It is because privilege. I mean, like I say, he's a bridge in the sense that when he flows with his peers, he's peerless. When he flows with the younger generation, this man can sit to Gen Zs and crack jokes with them, and you think that he was born in their age.
Generation.
Yeah.
At 75, 75, he doesn't look his age because yes, his mind is
I would
renewed.
have assumed he was in his 60s.
Yes, his mind is renewed all the time. I honestly just hope that the honor he deserves with the National Honors Award should be given to, it's my own advocacy today, and then to hope that he's properly owned as national property, because like I said, their type is really rare. Just to wrap up, Sonny Rabo. Since Jones told me this story, that one day he went to look for a friend. I don't know what friend that was, but the friend wasn't there. So he was dropping a note to say, if this person comes, then he said, who do we say came to look for her or for the person? Said John Susan. So Erabo was working in that place. Erabo said, Oga, now you are the CB like this. I want to be a broadcaster. Come. Erabo is a legend in his own right.
True.
Already. So.
And so Jones gave him an appointment. He went to Radio House and then he auditioned him and wrote a report. The next thing was Erabo was employed. That was how Erabo began his journey in broadcasting.
Wow.
Now, Radio Martin Street, when Jones was the first voice that went on air in 1978.
Wow.
That was 4 years after he had begun his career. I'm just wondering, is Nigeria aware that such a man exists?
So we are bringing it to the fore. We're not going to end with just this program that we're organizing on the
21st of September.
Now, to even entrench the record further, since Joe started broadcasting in 1974, you can imagine being on one assignment from 1974 to
50 years.
To today. You understand?
Like some of us who are.
You see,
Nigeria happened to us.
You see, the first day I heard Jones, the first day I heard him spoke on radio, I just something inside me because I like English language and poetry and the rishi that comes with it that makes it, you understand? So when I heard that, who is this person? You know, so many years ago, from that time till today, I've always, you know, whether it's Kubanji Direct or whether it's The Man's World or The Parlor Show, all the shows I've always been involved. Okay. And personally, I've always been involved also in his personal affairs outside, you know, broadcasting and all that. That is the love I show him. And it's one that, for me, people should look up to. Young people should emulate some of his deeds. He might not be a very wealthy man all over the place, materially speaking, but he's a bundle of wealth intellectually.
Again, when you define wealth,
yes,
it's not always materialism.
No, it's not.
Because a lot of materially wealthy people are poor in several other areas.
Intellectually stagnated and all that. So, for us, our contribution to celebrating him is that I give him a lifetime achievement award.
It is well deserved.
We're also launching a book of his prologues, 74.
The first volume.
Yes, the first volume. 74 of those prologues. Is always ready. I mean, technically ready. By tomorrow, we should have delivery of the materials for the program on Saturday. And we have people who will be reading goodwill messages, you know, all over the place for him and all that. And we pray that God will, you know, give him long life.
Amen.
And his family and all that. They're all coming out that Saturday. If the entire country will not do it.
Yeah.
Enterprise TV.
Yes, sir.
No matter how, whatever the economy is saying, it's not that doesn't concern us. We will do it. And we're already there. Luckily, we have been able to put so many things in place for that event on that day. And the listener is hereby invited for the program as we set out on Saturday. So when we return, Emeka Madunagu, who is present with us in body, is fully in Edo State, in the spirit, where he will be taking more than a passing interest in the September 21st governorship election with his case. Stay with us.
Middleman.
Welcome back to the Middleman. My case, Edo people deserve a credible Google. I was in Edo State for 2 days this week and couldn't fail to notice the palpable tension in the air over the governorship election slated for Saturday, September 21st, 2024. It's expected to be a big battle involving Asue Udalo, PDP, Matthew Opebolo, APC, and Olumide Akpata, LP, and others. However, there are external forces at play in the contest, notably Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, the Nigerian presidency, and former Governor Adams Oshiomhole, as well as LP's presidential candidate in the 2023 election, Mr. Peter Obi. The usual deployment of soldiers, police, and other security personnel has elicited concern as people wonder about what is really at stake. Some are wondering if President Bola Tinubu is trying to get back at those who mocked him in 2020. When he tried unsuccessfully to prevent Obaseki from getting a second term. The theme song was Edo no be Lagos. The implied message was that Tinubu, who at the time issued a video urging the people to vote for the APC, could not dictate to Edo voters. However, the indiscriminate arrest and abductions of Edo PDP chieftains by the police have raised concern about whether the election will be free, fair, and credible. By verdict, Edo voters deserve to be allowed to choose the next governor. Nobody has the right to dictate to them. Nobody has the right to reintroduce the odious specter of godfatherism in the state. The security agencies should remain neutral and stop exhibiting tendencies that expose their alleged vested interest in the outcome of the election. The wishes of Edo voters must be respected.
I totally agree that the wishes of the voter in Edo State be respected. The process must be free, must be fair, must be credible. The last time it was the reverse. We had a PDP president in which an ACN governor was running and won the election. That is talking about Adams Oshomole. It was a clean slate. It was a level playing field. Oshomole even had cause to recognize and thank the president for his support, for making sure that the process was clean.
After castigating
initially.
But he won through the court.
He won
His re-election.
His second time.
Yes, his second time.
Right there, and they put it on the field.
Yes.
Someone was blasting Jonathan. I heard that they don't want
Before the election. Then after
during the election, while he was
casting his ballot in line to vote.
Someone was attacking Jonathan until later.
When did I hear the result?
He changed, tune.
But the problem is, it's neither the APC, nor the PDP, nor NNPP, nor even LP. What we're seeking is this: let the best candidate
win.
Let democracy breathe. That's what we want. Okay, it's not about liking the PDP or not liking the PDP, but hating people or not hating people. The issue is let so for example, the wreck in Edo State is a former essay to Wike when he was governor of Rivers State.
And even a cousin.
And then Wike has even boasted about the outcome of the election. I think that alone is enough to send enough shame to some people to say, you know what, I don't do this one again.
There's no shame in Nigeria.
But Nigeria is not that country where you can talk about shame. So we're heading for what will look like a cataclysm. The president seems to be in need of a pound of flesh to take back. Or Shomole is looking for a pound of flesh to take back. Or Basiki to look like it's a personal thing. Philip Shaibu. This is just a match of egos. Weekends. It's a match of egos. There is nobody. It doesn't look at the argument about who fit born and who no fit born in an election season.
What concerns us with
Shomole is a reckless.
He speaks recklessly.
That's why his background is a tailor.
When I already become a banker, he was a tailor.
Yeah.
So the difference is clear.
Gentlemen, on the table of the middlemen, I have a question. 2 questions. The first one is, why are we going into Edo elections expecting a different result? Because it's the same electoral law, the same INEC, the same ISEC that conducted the 2023 elections, that are conducting this election. We saw what happened in the federal and state elections in 2023. Was it really the people who decided the elections then? Secondly, what will happen if all the Edo State citizens sit at home and do not come out on election day?
No, but there was votes.
The votes of the candidates and the party loyalists will still be recorded. So you're still going to find legitimacy. Legitimacy is not only when we go knock at your door to ask you to come and exercise your civic responsibility. It's voluntary. So if you think that staying indoors is better, which I don't think is so, you are shooting yourself one way or the other. But see, whether people come out to vote or whether there's voter party, it is the court that will decide who.
Yes.
You understand? So see, this thing we do every 4 years is to come exercise, make noise. People carry
spend money, spend billions. Some of us will make money from selling.
Our democracy has so been destroyed to the point where you can't bank on merit. Okay? Even when you get to the court, you cannot also bank on merit from the court. You cannot also get justice by the strength of your case. You understand? So this
that's deep and difficult. You need to put that line again.
So having destroyed democracy, what is left of us? The court will now make decisions for who. So now it is the court that determines legitimacy. And if once the court has spoken, where else can you go to?
But there's even a case, in Abuja, in Magic in Abuja, on Friday tomorrow, concerning the APC candidate, and that has raised rumors that. INEC might at the last minute, postpone the election.
Yeah, that's a great possibility actually.
The APC candidate is said to have, been accused of, certain things concerning his credentials, academic credentials.
But that couldn't have been at the magistrate court.
Well, but that is where it is.
So it's not mean his credentials.
In Abuja.
It has to be at the High Court.
Abuja doesn't
police.
have jurisdiction, does it?
Now the police.
Was arraigned in the magistrate court?
Yes.
The district court.
In Abuja.
District, because district court in the north. So
Now,
fine.
the IG got 10 PDP chieftains arrested
They said 60.
and moved them to Abuja.
Yes, now.
Court. So what it shows is that my question is that what is the IG's personal interest in their
You know that there is no level of government that is now unbiased or objective in anything concerning elections in Nigeria. A former CBN governor was contesting to be president. How can?
Yeah.
But it happened in Nigeria.
It was still in Sito. When it was
He
being
is now former, but he was governor, CBN governor at the time. Spending
and they
big
had a
dollars.
lot of vehicles in branded as evidence.
Over 50 and 500 vehicles branded. Where are those vehicles?
There was a day he woke up and then briefed the lawyer that he's thinking some people are against him. The lawyers should go and file motion to restrain them. A very senior lawyer in Nigeria went to file.
Based on his thoughts. So which level of government? Again, I always ask.
There was too much money with him.
Who has bewitched Nigeria? Nigerians, who bewitched you?
Well, we hope for a free, fair, and credible election, governorship election in Edo State. When we return, Juro Olajumoke Alaodeji has learned how to differentiate between poor criminals and rich criminals. Let's see what she's got. Stay with us.
Middleman.
And you're welcome back from that short break. You're still watching the Middleman on Enterprise TV. My case today, rich versus poor criminals. This week, in the US, on Monday, September 16, 2024, Sean P. Diddy Combs, formerly known as Pop Daddy, was arrested by federal authorities and charged for human trafficking, racketeering, blackmail, kidnapping, forced labor, arson, and other crimes. They found over 1,000 bottles of oil, baby oil, in his home, which authorities claim were for his freak-off parties where he secretly recorded participants engaging in occult, sex magic-like activities, including homosexuality and possibly pedophilia. In Nigeria, on Wednesday, September 18, 2024, Yaya Bello finally honored the invitation of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, after hiding for months. There are allegations of financial misappropriation of 80.2 billion naira during Yaya Bello's tenure as governor of Kogi State. The EFCC quickly put out a statement on X that Yaya Bello is not in their custody and he's still wanted. Comparing the two cases, there are video and audio recordings of what allegedly happened at Diddy's parties. Usually here, we arrest, detain for a while looking for evidence that may never be found, and then lose the case in court. Both Yaya Bello and Sean Combs are rich and powerful, but in the US, no individual is more powerful than the system. Ask former president, now presidential candidate Donald Trump. Oh yes, there's corruption everywhere. People who are now coming out to testify against Sean Combs had information of his crimes for years, but were maybe too afraid of his influence and wealth. Not until a leaked hotel surveillance footage from 2016 of him assaulting his then girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura Cassie, and raids on his houses by federal authorities in March 2024 did his crimes get international exposure. Cassie, who met Diddy when she was 19 and dated him for many years, had filed an assault case against him in December 2023. Diddy denied any wrongdoings. In an Instagram message in December 2023, he said, and I quote, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." End quote. Maybe Diddy didn't know how much evidence there was against him when he denied the allegations. There are claims he would collect the phones of victims at some of those parties. The drinks were usually laced, which made some of them pass out, and he made recordings that most people may not want exposed. Remember, he escaped suits against him for wrongful possession of firearms in 2001. After that incident, he changed his name from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy, saying he needed a fresh start. Now, he was running away from Puff Daddy's crimes. Anyway, he posted an apology video on his Instagram page in April 2024 after public outcry because of the leaked hotel surveillance footage of him assaulting Cassie. Nigerian powerful people left the group. Remember our own senator from the sex toy shop assault video? Elisha Ago, yes, that's him, representing Adamawa North. He got back into the Senate under APC in 2023. If not that the appeal court removed him in July 2024. His assault trial since 2019 was also stalled. Nothing came out of it. Why compare Nigeria and America, Jumoke, you may ask? Yes, every country has its own challenges, but not until we build systems that work. Our democracy will always be of powerful people, masters, and their servants. That's us. Even though his houses were searched in March 2024, D was not arrested till this Monday, by which time the charges against him were tight to the extent he was denied bail. He's currently in a New York jailhouse, home to notorious convicts like R. Kelly. Either Yaya Bello surrendered or he was arrested in a sting operation. It's very unlikely he will be going to any jailhouse. I mean, the current governor of Kogi State, his political godson, Usman Ododo, once said, if he made a statement and Yaya Bello countered it, his people should listen to Yaya Bello. That's someone the Nigerian government gives immunity from trials. Ododo usually shielded Bello from arrest by the EFCC in the Kogi State Government House. The EFCC had declared Yaya Bello wanted since April 2024, and the EFCC chairman promised he would resign if Yaya Bello wasn't arrested. Same Yaya Bello was the youth leader for the Tinubu campaigns in 2022-2023. Here, we amputate the arms of people who steal food to eat and plea bargain with politicians who stole the patrimony of the hungry masses. We beg the real thieves to release a percentage of what they stole, and we let the rest go, while jailing the ones who stole to survive. When a rich person is arrested and convicted in Nigeria, we suspect they offended another powerful person. That's how skewed justice can be here. My verdict: Nigeria must fight to build systems that work, regardless of the status of people who access them. Justice must be seen to be done at all times. The law cannot be for the poor and justice for the rich. The rich, all poor suspects, must be treated equally, innocent or proven guilty, yes. Proper machinery and personnel must be acquired for watertight investigations before arrests are made. Suspects must all be charged to court within 24 to 48 hours as stipulated by the law. And when found guilty, the rich or poor convicts should also get the same treatment. If not, there will be more incentives to become rich criminals, if for nothing else but to escape consequences. The technology is there. See how Israel disarmed Hezbollah members in Lebanon using their beepers. They will be meeting their 72 virgins without their private parts. The laws are also there. Nigeria is a country of so many laws, if only the people in the justice system are not corrupt themselves. And no, saying you are chosen is not how we will fix the rot in our system. Our prayers have since been answered. We all now need to do the right thing. Selah.
Wow, interesting. But the other thing is that Yaya Bello surrendered himself to the EFCC. He waited for 4 hours.
And they did not attend to
He
it.
was told that the chairman said he was busy with other matters and that he could go. Now, according to one of Yaya Bello's aides, in a voice note, he said an aide to the EFCC chairman actually called the governor, Usman Ododo, and told him that, and asked him for where they were. He said they were at the Kogi Governor's Lodge in Asokoro, Abuja. Then that he drove all the way to that place, and he alleged that the EFCC chairman's aide was pleading with them that please they should allow their agents arrest Yaya Bello.
Imagine that.
So that they will show Nigerians that they are working.
Look at that.
That Yaya Bello appearing was shocking. and would have just put the EFCC chairman in a mess. So
we are still waiting for him to resign.
They had to stage that, and they refused. The governor refused. The governor said, if you want me to bring your Bello now, I'm ready to go back to your office with him. So that was when the aide got angry and they were exchanging words. Then he now called for backup. EFCC came, they were shooting and they were insulting the
gunshots at midnight.
They were insulting the governor and all of that. And at the end of the day, the governor got into his vehicle and left with his convoy. Of course, obviously, Bello was not there. You know, so what we are
Does
just
the governor rule Kogi State from Kogi State House in Abuja?
Well, you had a governor whose PA at the time was looking for him all over the world. In fact, he was traveling. Which country is this governor now? He will go there. I don't want to mention his name.
Matawali of Zamfara also ruled from Abuja.
Yeah, is he the only one? Even some other governors now are said to be ruling more from Abuja than
their state.
You know,
there was a governor who even did a broadcast and addressed the state from London some years ago. Yeah.
So that's how bad it is. Do you even the president? Do you even know
when he's in or out?
At a particular time, he just appears.
He appears, and then disappears again.
He was in China, and then the next thing we had a visit that ended.
And then we didn't see him.
Only for him to make a cameo appearance at
Maiduguri.
No, Buckingham Palace to meet with King Charles III.
And then we heard that was conspiracy, that he really was in France.
So that was just a decoy. And then the next thing he came into Abuja, went with his Escalade.
He flew his Escalade in his new private jet, $150 billion private jet.
That has always been Tinubu's lifestyle now. It doesn't like accountability.
It
doesn't like you to track him or to know exactly what he's doing and where he is. Doesn't like all those things. But as a president, you should know that that is not what he should do. He should make himself available to the people and let people know where he is at all times. Because he's the one holding the code to our national patrimony.
Yeah, but
if he goes missing again, how are we going to...
In addition to making himself accountable, there's also the place, accountable, but also responsible. There's way not to move. For example, the president spent a whopping, 10 or 11 days in China. What was
he doing?
10, 11 days in China. What was going on there?
Looking for investment.
And he was about to disappear to the
Number 2, in fact, Punch newspaper to do an editorial saying Tinubu goes missing in transit again.
As usual.
Maybe that was what
it's not new at all. Anytime he goes outside of the country, he always makes a detour.
That was a Friday. I think that was what made him to rush back to the country on Sunday. So that's the problem.
Even the DSS don't know where the president was those days.
You can imagine that.
And that is the only body that's established by law to provide security for the president.
Yes.
They don't know where. So if the presidency, if he fails to return, it's them that will hold responsibility, DSS.
Yes.
And they don't know where he is.
So that is the issue.
So coming to this topic.
I'm sure they are also shocked.
But the PDD, let's come back to it.
It's also, you see, Nigeria, we are good at copying bad things from other countries. But I think the American justice system too, started to be very tight, very strong. But in many respects, the American system is not. It's not perfect. It's not fantastic.
But there's a lot you can learn from them. I'll come to it.
But it's not fantastic. In China, I think there is a quicker dispensation of justice than
China is not a democracy.
Yeah, but whether it is fair enough,
China is not a democracy. You can't compare them.
You can't compare.
It's not a democracy.
No, but America is more guaranteed to put it behind bars than even the UK.
For after how long?
You know why?
They normally look for the evidence before they come after.
Let me tell you what I like about the
American system.
No, yes, and this particular Diddy Combs. Do you know that they went for them arresting and indicting him were not two separate incidents. In fact, he flew to New York because he had basically to surrender.
To be charged.
Now, so they arrested him, then indicted me.
Yes.
The arguments came
one
at the same
after the
time.
other.
They said granting bail. He came to be arrested. He acted like a good citizen. Then the other side said no, don't release him. You know why? Because this
Charges
case
against him
are strong, and because
Hell.
when he knew that this was coming, he had already reached out to the victims to plead, to sort of
Yes, now he had
so
apologized.
see that there's a case. So they just said, okay, you know what? Keep him behind bars. Then
Yeah.
let the whole, I mean, he was in isolation, which
Oh, of course, because he will be needing those baby
of
oil. You
course,
may
of
not
course.
put him in
So-
isolation.
No, that's you completely.
I'm coming.
But
But at least, you see,
And they did not.
No, I'm coming.
And they told him to go
I'm
back.
coming.
We need to come and
but
arrest
at
you.
least,
We need to come and arrest you.
We need
They
to
sting
come and
operation.
but at least it was fair enough that they already had done their background work and had a watertight case against him.
Yeah.
And when he came, the process has already begun.
True.
In Nigeria, they will arrest you.
First, detain you.
They start shopping for evidence or
They
something.
now go to your house, turn it upside down.
You see, in his own case, he was indicted. And I always say this thing that Nigeria does not really indict. We just arrest.
And
then-
start looking for evidence.
For clarity purposes, there's a lawyer on the table. When you are arrested, you are a suspect,
Yes.
right? You're suspected. The police can either let you go at that level or formally accuse you, then charge you
Charge within the time frame.
within the time frame, then charge you. Upon charging, let's even say a trial. I mean, a criminal case, a trial then ensues. If you're convicted, then you're sentenced. Nigeria does not bother to, once they've arrested, I even hear state police saying alleged. I thought when you're accused, you accuse,
Yes, now.
right? It is us in the middle which you say
No,
alleged.
when you accuse, it's still an allegation.
Okay.
Yeah, because the court have not found
No,
you.
but what I mean is that the accuser should be able to boldly say you have been accused.
Based on fact.
They don't necessarily have
They
to
don't
observe.
usually have evidence.
That's
That's why they
Nigeria
food
now.
drag. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's Nigeria, yes.
That's what I'm saying. Nigeria is what I'm saying. That's why they food drag. What they do, they will now go and obtain an order of court to keep you longer than
But
necessary.
the Ayabelo case, with due respect, sir, this matter is such a distasteful.
No, but he said he had been fighting for
Wait,
fundamental
wait, they come. Somebody comes to EFCC
His
office.
case has been filed in court. Oh.
Do you know what
But
EFCC
the prosecution refused to take charge him now.
They are
Even
afraid
he
of,
showed up
they are afraid of
and he was
He
taking
brought all his family members' passports so that they could be granting bail. But when they read all the charges against him,
all those things couldn't work.
now.
they said, all your family members' passports,
It
go into isolation
But he came
first.
from Yaya Bello.
Uh-huh.
He came with the governor, he came with other people.
And then
And
EFCC
then
now said,
no, they couldn't.
hold on, people exposed politically.
It's
First,
the lamest excuse I can find. It's the lamest
we
excuse.
cannot go through the entire process in front of them. Because you have brought a sitting governor who has immunity from trial.
It covers you too.
It covers you. Go
And then
home.
yeah, wait for us to come and arrest you.
For the sake of our
EFCC's legal
for the
advisor.
sake of our international viewers. Yeah, let me make a clarification on this. This is all sarcasm, right?
Ah.
Well,
Hold on. This layer of your argument are
Wait,
sarcasm.
so this layer of pep is EFCC that said it.
No, I understand.
it's their own version of events. So.
No, hold on now. You are saying in our own clan. You understand? When you come with a governor to answer charges or call.
Yes.
Hold on now.
An invitation.
EFCC told Yaya Bello yesterday.
Yeah.
Hold on now. I'm using your words. You said that in our clan, when the governor accompanies you to the immunity that covers the governor covers you. That's not true. I just want.
I say it's EFCC that said it to Yaya Bello.
What they said that.
No. See what they
That's
said.
not, when you said they
quote them.
imputed that,
To
that
quote
is
them.
No, by
that is
No,
but that's conjecture now.
To quote.
It couldn't have been.
Listen to the quote.
To quote, albeit a paraphrase, right?
Yes.
Was that the governor bringing
Dignitaries.
dignitaries along with him,
Yes.
put them in a bad place,
PEP.
and that they could not therefore affect anything beyond him just visiting the office.
I know
That the presence of the
Hold on,
governor.
I read what
The implication.
So what's the implication?
The implication.
The implication.
According to the law, yes.
The
So let's
implication, because you are a lot of people are watching us. I
Yes.
checked our analytics not too long before the show, and I see that we have huge American followers and UK followers. And the African countries down to Uganda, they follow us.
Oh, yeah.
So if we start to present it this way, it will not look as if what the EFCC said expressly was that, yes now, is that if you are going with, your governor accompanies you, they cannot act.
No.
That's what he paraphrased.
In this particular case.
No, that's what he
they refuse to
paraphrased.
act.
No, but in this particular case, that was the scenario they directly painted.
That's
not our law.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not our law.
It's not the law. So when I said all these are sarcasm, why did you object?
Sarcasm is what they said to me.
In fact, the second
I'm quoting EFCC.
The EFCC say because you go with the governor.
Yes.
Our law says this is a step.
The law, they didn't put the law.
What it says.
The second point they now raised was that they suspected that Governor Usman Ododo accompanying Yaya Adozabelo was to create a propaganda trap.
Yes. They also said that one on their eggs, so I'm quoting EFCC.
I saw that.
Since when? You see, there was a time this Tinubu government said that they had identified terror sponsors. Then they said one. Now this is sarcasm, right? One of them is tall, black and short. Wears gele from Lokoja to Katina. They said the other one is light-skinned, tall and short also, and is plump and wears English suits all the time.
Very lazy.
Then said that they are considering to sanction them.
But they never
And I said,
them.
now I don't care who you whether mention. I say, Oga, Mr. Government, you are not a gang boss to give jungle justice. If you know terror sponsor, what are you supposed to do?
Arrest them
And prosecute. Say you are considering sanctions on them. That's
sanction.
That is
Like it's a state.
But in this case,
Like it's a state.
it's an international embarrassment.
so this
It's a very lazy. The national security advisor ought to be sacked. I don't know why you keep him in that place up until now. Even I have a case on that. Forgotten. I read the case to that effect. On that, that's the one you guys are saying I should not fire because
which one?
No, I filed a case now on that issue.
Yeah. I remember.
You have to go to press anyway. But I filed a case on the issue. I've not been assigned, but they've been served. So we're going to drag that issue because you cannot be going after protesters and then you have people indicted who are sponsoring terrorism and you cannot do anything. You are describing them.
Mention them.
You can't even mention them. You are describing them. It's a national embarrassment.
True.
We should. This is not the way to go.
And if they're not careful, you sanction them.
Sir,
They're not careful.
it's an international embarrassment. Two things. President Tinubu is not going to the United Nations General Assembly this September. He's sending his vice president, right? There's something there that we need to go and ask, or maybe the Coven men will tell us. Secondly, it's an international embarrassment that you declared somebody who no longer has immunity, wanted for months. He walks into your office by himself. He declared it on international social media that I have come and everyone looked is coming and said because there are people exposed to politics, you cannot do anything. So then in the middle of the night, you go to do sting operation
to beg him that he should please come
to arrest him.
What they were disappointed
that he came by himself.
They needed a drama.
And
drag him so that we will not.
And he took the right.
He said they begged the governor to allow them arrest him, put him in handcuffs, and take a video so that they could show the world that they are working.
Nigeria
after all the noise. So the important thing is that you have people in the national.
They have lost the moral justification to go arrest him again.
You have
a man who is wanted, who has showed up in your office. Yeah. You can no longer declare him wanted, but he has showed up in your. So that declaration, that wanted, is
Nigerian police don't know this thing that you are saying. Seun Kuti that they declared wanted walked into their office, and it was after he arrived they now put him in handcuffs. Like you went to arrest him. He arrived by himself. He now put him. Is he now going to run away? Somebody who came by himself.
That is how they convert invitation to arrest. If they invite you now, they will write a very beautiful letter. They did that to me. Kept me for 10 days.
Oh.
Yes. I went there. I was in Asaba. They sent a letter to my office in Lagos that I was, there's a case they're investigating wherein I'm involved and all that I'm involved in, so that I should come. I said, I'm even on, my governor had used people to chase me out of Asaba. I was on bandage, injured in the hospital. So I told them, I took picture and showed them that this is my condition, but I'm going to come on the 16th of May, 2022. I flew from Asaba on my own cost. Got there, they called the name. I said, yes, I know it's my client. I am doing a case for him. They now said that the documents that I'm going to do that case, the documents I got from the client I'm going to do the case are fake documents. I said, don't concern me. I'm a lawyer, I don't produce documents. If you call me for a case, I'll ask you to give me documents for the case. Do you know that's how this book helped me? Granted me bail that same day.
With all your injuries?
Yes, granted me bail that same day. I was carrying bandage in my knee. Granted me bail that same day and asked me to go and bring two deputy directors. I was asking them, when was I born that I will know two deputy directors in Abuja that have properties in here and there?
Nigeria, eh?
They kept me in their detention facility. M1, myself.
And so that's it on the Middleman this week. Sometimes it's facey, sometimes it's just all cerebral. But it's been yet another time on the Middleman this week. We hope you've enjoyed your time with us. We invite you to be part of the conversation and do well to leave a comment in the comment section. Until we come your way again, we are Enterprise TV7 on all our social media, and our website is www.enterprisetv7.com. See you next week. Bye. For now.